Hi there, this is Doris Benter of Library Arts, and I want to welcome you to this fun holiday-themed program today. We're going to be taking a fun white tote bag and adding 4 smiling snow people on it, all reaching their arms out in joy. This is a fun and simple project. I think you're really gonna love it. Why don't we get started by going over the materials, and I'll see you in a moment to do that. Okay, so inside your tote bag, you're gonna find a little sample drawing that you can use or make up your own ideas for your snowmen. On the outside of your bag, I've already drawn the beginning of the snowman bodies. This is the blue sky. Inside, you're gonna have a piece of cardboard. Now you wanna keep that in there while you're painting because you don't want the paint to seep through to the other side of your bag. Also, you will find that you have some paints in the primary colors, red, yellow, blue. You got this secondary, you got some black, and either you have a little bit of white paint here or you have some white snow glitter. If this is white paint, you also have an additional snow glitter. This is your metallic blue paint, which is really gonna be really pretty and pearlescent for the sky. This is your white paint, which I have mixed with a glitter finish, so you should have a nice white, snowy, glittery finish. And then, of course, you're going to have that glitter that we can sprinkle on your wet paint as we go. So now that we've gone over the materials, you may want to have a black marker. It's completely optional, but I like to use this at least for my demonstration, so you can see my drawings a little bit easier. So you may want to keep that nearby. But what I'm going to do now that I have my bag ready is I'm going to draw the characters of the snowmen. So I'm going to just add lightly a round head for each snowman. And I'm just doing this very lightly until I go over it with my marker. And I want to make sure I leave some room for each snowman head to fit in. So I'm actually turning around now so I can do the other side of the bag. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add another snowman here, just another head. And I like it facing me so I can see exactly what I'm doing here. This leaves a lot of room for hats, scarves, all those details you might want to add. So go ahead and just pencil in the heads of each snowman. And when we come back, we'll add some more details. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so we have the snowman heads on here. Now it's just simple to add some details. Like I think I'm gonna put little headphones on this snowman. So I'm making 2 little circles on either side of the head. Then I'm making a little arch. That's the headphone, right? Now we're gonna add a face. I'm gonna put some little lashes. I'm gonna put it as if this is a caroling snowman. So I put a little open mouth. I'm just gonna skip the nose on this one. And then I'm just gonna put some buttons on the snowman. And then I'm gonna come out here with some branches reaching outwards. And the branch should come into the body. So I'm just gonna loosely show branches that you might find reaching towards the middle, okay? And the next one, I think I'm gonna make this guy have a hat on his head. So I'm putting that band by following the shape of the head. I'm just putting a band on the head, and then I'm going to make it one of those little floppy hats with a pom-pom on the end. And I'm going to put some lines coming down. And then I'm gonna also kind of put his eyes closed, but he's gonna have a carrot nose and a smile and some buttons. And remember, you can always slow down if you want to see what I'm doing and take your time drawing it. You don't need to go as fast as I am. I'm just doing that for the video. Or conversely, you can always go faster. If you want to do your own thing and you feel like you don't need to see all the detail in the video, you can absolutely do that. Again, I like to bring the snowman's arms into the body because it looks more like it's attached that way. Now, when I do the other two, I'm going to flip because I need my snowmen to be looking at these two. So they're going to be upside down on the top. But that's all right because that's what the snowman would be looking like. So on this one, I think I'm going to do maybe one with a baseball cap. So a baseball cap usually has that rounded part, a little beanie on it, and he's going to be wearing his sideways. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to just put some open eyes on this one. And a little nose and a smile. Oh, that nose is a little too small. So I'm going to maybe leave that off. And put some buttons. You could even put his favorite team on here if you wanted. And again, some branches reaching out to his fellow snow buddies here. And just, these are simple branches. There's nothing fancy going on here. They just look like angular arms coming out, right? Oh, forgot to add the two little things here. And over here, I think I'm gonna try to do, how about we do a floppy hat? Because I don't think I can, well, maybe I can make a top hat. We'll make a top hat after all, okay. So maybe the top hat's partially hidden behind this hat. And what I did here is I put a small ellipse coming in, 2 vertical lines, and a little brim. So that's his little top hat, okay? And maybe we'll even put like a flower on the top hat. We'll give him some eyes. Let's make him one of those snowmen that has a carrot nose. And he's smiling, and he too has buttons, and once again, arms reaching out to his fellow snowman buddies. There's one, here's the other. They're almost like holding hands, right? So when I come back, I'm gonna have this covered in marker so you can see it a little bit better, but you should spend some time drawing your own design. And you do not need to go over it with marker. You can just jump into paint. I'm going to do that just so you find it a little easier to see, so that when we paint, it's easier to distinguish the background from the characters. Okay? See you soon. Have fun drawing your snowman. Okay, so now it's time to paint. And before you paint, you want to make sure that you have a cup of water to clean your brushes in. I like to keep a paper towel because I like to get the excess water out of my brush by gently dabbing it on the paper towel before I dip it in paint. And I suggest you start with the blue paint first because that way you can let that sky dry, then do your white, do your details on your snowmen, on your snowmen, which could be snowman clown types. And then we can go back and add some little white snow splatter or dots of snowflakes on top of the blue. So again, drying your brush, dip your blue, beautiful metallic paint and begin to paint in the space surrounding the snow people. Whether they're boys or girls, it doesn't matter. You want to add bows to their head, or you want to put a crown, you want to make them different characters from mine, absolutely okay. And so what we're doing is we're going to work our way from the middle of the picture all the way out to the edges, and I'm hoping that again with the black marker you can see a little bit better how I am applying the paint and where I'm applying the paint. So you don't have to do it in this order. This is the order that I prefer to do it in. And I think it's easier. See where my wrist is laying on the snowman? That paint's not wet, so it's easier for me to start in the center, do all that area. I can come back and touch up the blue later if I see some spots I missed. But I'd like you to spend some time painting in all your space shapes surrounding your snowman within that square that I've outlined for you. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about adding details onto your snow people, not snow clowns. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Have some fun and get yourself painting. Welcome back, and we're at the point, I hope, that you have been able to paint in the blue sky surrounding your snowmen. Now, I suggest while the paint's still wet, we add a little bit of white snow glitter. So if yours is attached like mine is, I'm going to take a pair of scissors and just snap it off because I want to have a little more control over that glitter. And what I suggest you do is just sprinkle some in your palm, close up the rest so you don't spill it everywhere, and just take a little bit and sprinkle it over the wet paint. And it'll give that sky a little extra sparkle and dry with the paint. So you can see already it's beginning to sparkle there. So with that done, I'm gonna move over to the white paint now, and that is gonna be for the snowmen. And then I will add the details of the snowmen on later when I finish the white. So I'm gonna take my white, and this is a white plus glitter finish. So give it a little stir, make sure your brush is nice and dry, and then go right in and start painting your individual snowman. And even as you go, if you wanna sprinkle a little white glitter after you finish painting the white of each snowman, that might be a great idea. And I would just focus on the bodies at first. Don't worry about any black details, including the eyes, the mouth, any details on the nose. We'll take care of that separately after we have, and I'm just going to do the whites of the eyes, not the black, but the whites of the eyes here. And I'm also going to paint the body like this. And again, once you get the basic body shape painted in, I'm not talking about the arms or the buttons, I'm just talking about the white portions of the snow creatures, snow people, whatever you want to call them. You can go in with that white glitter and just give it a little bit more of glitz and sparkle like real snow just by painting over the, sprinkling over the white paint. And I'm trying to do this quickly so I can show you what I'm talking about. Sprinkle over the white paint with a little white snow glitter, and that's going to give you a really nice sparkle, just like we've just added to the blue sky. It's easy to do. Just be careful you don't drip paint on the edges of your bag, which I almost did a moment ago, but I caught myself. Going right out to the corners of my picture, and make sure you don't leave any white canvas spots. Try to make it even with your coat, going all the way around each little shape, all the way to your black border. And there, that snowman body is pretty much covered to my satisfaction. So what I'm going to do now is put the brush down, get that white snow glitter out again. Little bit of white snow glitter in my fingers again, and just sprinkle it right on top of the snowman's body so you can get that wonderful white sparkle right on top of the white. So go ahead and paint in your 4 snow characters, and then we'll come back and we can talk about the arms, the buttons, the hats, and all those things. So have fun, paint in your white, and I'll see you soon. The white's all done, the blue's all done. Now we're ready to dig into the details. So this is where you can have some fun. Get your little paint sets ready, open up all the lids, have your paper towel ready, dry your brush, and decide where you want to begin. I think I'm going to start with the hats on my snowmen. So I'm just going to put a little red into this one. I like the bright red contrast next to the blue. And you might want to make yours yellow. Maybe you want to make yours green or pink. You want to mix your white and red together. That's really up to you. So you get to choose those details for yourself. I'm going to save my black for later for details. So there's my little red headphones. Now, I was really thinking about earlier adding a red scarf, so I think I'm just going to add that on here. And I'm going to paint it out into my blue because, as I said, I forgot to paint it in earlier. And you see how I can easily still add or change the design without a problem. I just forgot that I was going to put a scarf on this guy. So I'm just doing it this way. And then what I'll do is I'll add a little black outline later on to add some fringe and some other details there. Now, on to my snowman with the beanie cap here. Gonna put some green. And I think I'm gonna contrast it with some yellow. But you can see how you can have fun adding these details any way you wish. And then finally, I'll come back and do the black to finish the branches. So I want you to have some fun doing this. And by the way, if you want to make a little orange, a quick way to do that is maybe take your lid from your white paint. Like if this is orange for the carrot noses. And I'm putting a little yellow paint, using my little lid as a mixing tray. And I can add a little bit of red, maybe a little more red. There we go. Now we're going to get a bit of orange. If you want to make it lighter, you can mix some white in there. Add a little more yellow. Okay, that's a good orange right there. And I can use that to paint in the snowman's nose. So you can use these lids or a little sheet of foil to mix colors as you would like. And it's super simple. So go ahead and have some fun painting in the details of your snowman. And then when we come back, we'll work on the black details as well. Have fun. See you soon. Okay, so I have added some color to the hats. I'm going to add actually a little bit of white to the top of this hat. And then I'm going to mix a tiny bit of black to make it hopefully more of a gray color. I just got some water over there, so I'm going to dry that off. So I'm going to add a little bit of that white, trying to make it a little more, there we go, a little contrast there. All right, so same thing with the arms on your snowmen. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put black finally because we're at the end of the details. And each snow person, snowman, snow girl is going to get black arms for the branches. And then I can go back in and I can paint in the buttons, which I've decided to make black because I think the black is a nice contrast to the white. I can paint details around the snowmen, maybe outline them with a skinny brush. And I try to give everybody in their bags a skinny brush to make it easier for you. But go ahead and start painting in your snowman arms, your details that you haven't done yet. And then we'll come back and talk about adding a little splatter. So I'll see you soon. Alrighty, so I've outlined, detailed everything on the Snowman tote bag that I wanted to do. So now it's time for a little bit of fun. And there's a couple ways you can add some snow. Now, one way is to do just this. Take your paintbrush and just tap it on top, and you can get a fun little bit of snow splatter. Another way is just to take the tip of your brush and put a few dots here and there If you have a toothbrush or a nail brush, you can also splatter paint that way. That's another great way to do it. But you can do a little bit of both. See, I can dot in some snow here, like this, and splatter like I just did a moment ago to get some different effects of snow. So here you go, take your pick and let it snow on your tote bag. And when you're done, come back in a moment and we'll have a little bit of a conclusion. Have fun. See you soon. Okay, here we go. Here is the finished bag that I made today. I hope that your bag turned out just as colorful and fun. I'd like you to just let this dry overnight before taking it, of course, to your public library to pick up some cool books. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you stay well, stay creative, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.